Thank you for checking out crypto.chartguys.com, the source for technical analysis in the cryptocurrency world. We are proud to announce our own crypto alert system designed to give you the most critical technical trading information possible no matter where you are. Keep your eyes on the market with mobile or email alerts for MACD crosses, RSI levels, and even inside bar alerts for dozens of coins across multiple exchanges. New features and proprietary ChartGuys indicators are already in development. Our alert system is very easy to customize and utilize, so don't hesitate to sign up for the most effective crypto trading tool on the market at crypto.chartguys.com. Hey everyone, so we're going to look at some altcoins here tonight. OMG, XRP, ICX, EOS, BCH, and BNB. We'll start on the weekly time frames and we'll zoom in. As we know, we're comparing to what Bitcoin is doing. So we want to know, relatively, is it weaker than Bitcoin or stronger than Bitcoin? And if you're familiar with Bitcoin's chart, we know we pulled back recently. Potential bear flag on a little 2-day bounce so far playing out. So looking at the weekly chart for OMG, we have a big long equilibrium with our high of this move. And this is OMG USD. The low, lower high, higher low, lower high. And we're within this range. The bulls are looking to form a higher low compared to 743. So just the way that this looks, comparing it to the weekly chart of Bitcoin, we made a more bullish move here where we essentially formed a double top. That would have been as if Bitcoin made it to 11,775, which we know it did not. So we're looking for a higher low to form. Consolidation is already a week ahead of Bitcoin as well. So we're looking for a higher low compared to 743. Anticipating that will happen. This is a beautiful weekly equilibrium chart to be watching on OMG. People should be looking to trade this break, and this break is likely to happen within the next 5 weeks, I would say. Maybe even 6 weeks, depending on how tight it gets, but definitely could break at any point. It's an extremely tight pattern, and it's going to be a really good one to be watching. So we're pulling back right now. The daily chart absolutely looks like Bitcoin with the low of the pullback, the weak bounce attempt that is a potential bear flag. Support right now is 1249. And if that level is lost, the next level is down at 11 even. So we are watching for further pullback for that daily higher or the weekly higher low to be formed. And we're going to be confident that that weekly higher low is in when the daily trend changes back to bullish. When the daily chart gives us higher lows and higher highs, then we'll be confident that our weekly higher low has formed. So just going to stick to daily and weekly charts here for these charts, but OMG, this is one where, if this were a stock that I were looking at, I would write down on a list next to my computer and I would say OMG weekly chart. And that's something that I would consistently check into, have my levels set on when a bull break or a bear break would occur, and then just patiently wait for it. And again, trade other things while I'm waiting, but I will be ready for that break when it does occur. Ripple on the weekly time frame. So pulling back, this is a more similar chart to Ethereum where we had the lower high, the lower low, and now we're bouncing. Whereas, one moment. So whereas Bitcoin has the higher low and lower high. So we have the equilibrium pattern currently forming with our low of the pullback. Our last high bounce attempt, I would say it's up at 123. So anything under 123 is a lower high on this weekly time frame. And it looks like we just set another lower high at 966. So at this point, the bulls need the higher low and then a break of 966 to change this weekly trend, which is in a lower high, lower low pattern still at this point. Daily time frame, very similar to Bitcoin with the dump and the bounce. Resistance 747. Support is down at 626. And it looks like we're just patiently waiting to see whether Bitcoin's going to be a bear flag or not. And just the looks of it, OMG and XRP will likely follow Bitcoin down to lower lows if it does end up being a bear flag. But as far as the weekly chart goes, OMG is stronger than Bitcoin. XRP is weaker than Bitcoin because it doesn't have a higher low yet. ICX BTC is also forming a bit of a tightening pattern, a little bit different. We do have a potential bull flag on the weekly chart. Bulls need to hold a low of consolidation 3977 and try and head up and break resistance of 5249 to confirm this little weekly bull flag, a very healthy consolidation at this point. The daily time frame, we can see we pulled back, but no major red flags at this point. It's healthy consolidation still. Another resistance level, shorter term, is 4915 to be watching. So 3977 support, 4915 resistance is the current channel, and the bulls are trying to follow through and make their way back up for continuation on this weekly chart to confirm this bull flag. And the next resistance we would be looking at, if that follows through, would be up at 6175. So another one that's definitely worth watching. If I were in a bullish position currently, I would either be using the daily inside bar that just formed as a stop level, or if I wanted more wiggle room, I would use the 3977 key level on the daily time frame. EOS USD. So the weekly chart here, we just had a bull break. As we know, EOS has been very bullish overall. We had resistance. Make sure your magnets are on. So we had resistance, support, we broke resistance to a higher high, and now we're going to look for a higher low to form on, again, healthy consolidation. So the weekly time frame pulling back for 2 weeks, inside bar bear break, but no red flags, healthy consolidation after the month-long breakout. The daily chart, similar to Bitcoin, the bear break, the bounce attempt. Support currently is down at 1205, and I've got resistance at 1513 for the bulls to attempt to see some bounce continuation. And again, same thing. If we do see continuation down for Bitcoin, we'll be looking for EOS to likely follow down as well. But it's in a much more bullish position than any name we've looked at so far, because it is coming off that all-time high and seeing healthy consolidation at this point. BCH USD, solid gains for the bulls on the bounces here as well compared to Bitcoin. BCH is almost like an ETF for Bitcoin, a leveraged ETF, in the sense that you have tickers like UW or USO for oil, and then UWT and DWT are leveraged. So if USO goes up 1%, UWT is going to go up 3%. It's almost the same thing where if Bitcoin's going to go up, 5%, BCH could maybe go up 10, 15%. And same thing on the pullback, it's the opposite. So a lot more volatility in BCH, and currently an inside bar just formed on the weekly chart, and we'll see if we form another one this coming week. But the daily chart, consolidating, weak bounce attempt. Our support right now, we are still maintaining higher lows and didn't really see much of a bounce at all here. We can see an inside bar form, so we never really got that higher low on this candlestick. It was still lower highs every single candlestick, and we pulled back. This is now our daily higher low of 1275, and we have multiple daily inside bars as well. If they break and we head back down, there's the potential of a bearish reversal head and shoulders pattern on this chart. If we were to see a little bit of a bounce and head back down, that's something to be aware of, but you can see the support here that's important, because if it breaks, there's a lack of support nearby. So 1205, 1237, and 1275 are must-hold levels, because, again, look at the lack of support between the 700s to 1200 in this range. So the bulls really want to hold that support level, and the weekly time frame could see some more significant pullback. I wouldn't be surprised to see. It all depends on how much Bitcoin pulls back, but BCH could pull back into the 1100s or even the 1000s here if that daily support breaks. But so far it's holding on. Daily inside bars are really tight, and again, likely to follow the same direction Bitcoin goes once we get a little bit more clarity on Bitcoin. BNB USDT, weekly chart is also still favoring the bulls. We have the low of consolidation. We had a higher low, and bulls are attempting to build another higher low here. Resistance is 1590 and then up to 2518. And at this point, anything above 706 I would consider a higher low, because again, these little brief consolidation candlesticks are inside bars, and that shows a sideways consolidation and not a clear pullback to establish a higher low. So looking at the daily chart, we are pulling back. We lost the daily higher low pattern, but we do still have the weekly with a couple support levels, but momentum clearly shifting here on BNB. And if we see a break of 1212, the next support level is going to be down at 1151. So a little bit of a slip here on BNB, but if we look at the weekly chart again, still very healthy overall. Low bear volume. Again, don't forget to always be checking volume. As long as it's low bear volume on consolidation and high bull volume on bull moves, that is just fine, healthy consolidation for these bulls overall. So that's where we stand on these altcoins. Going to get very interesting with Bitcoin's weekly equilibrium, as we know. And these names that have tightening ranges, the tighter the range gets, the more choppy the action, and the harder the short-term trading within that range. So I'm going to point that out in the Bitcoin video tomorrow as well. But newer traders, in my opinion, should be switching to a mode where they are paper trading in these tight ranges and wait for the clear weekly break, because the risk to reward scenario so greatly is skewed towards reward in that scenario once we get that clarity. So I am going to slow down my trading once we form, pretty much now I'm going to slow down my trading, because we're looking for Bitcoin to form this higher low, as we know, on the weekly chart. And there will be trades within there, absolutely, within this range. But again, it's just harder trades, smaller moves, and less consistency. So once we get this higher low, it'll be really tight, and it'll be really easy for me to just sit on my hands and wait for this pattern. I've been doing it with Canadian MJ. WEED has been doing this weekly tightening pattern for months, and I've been trading it here and there, but again, just patiently waiting for the long equilibrium pattern to give us a clear break, as it's on the cusp of doing for Bitcoin as well as Canadian MJ, which is convenient. So thanks again. Hope you have a good rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you soon.